Parents, I want you to pause for a moment and think about this deeply. What if your child is not confused? What if your child is not distracted? What if your child is not average, too quiet, too intense, too emotional, or too difficult to understand? What if your child is simply operating from a different intelligence design? One that ordinary school marks, generic career tests, and surface-level personality labels cannot decode. Today, I want to take you inside an actual intelligence mapping case study. I will use an imaginary name for privacy. Let us call her Sasha, a Gen Alpha child whose chart shows a very powerful and unusual intelligence pattern. And I want you to listen carefully because this may change the way you look at your own child. Sasha is not a simple academic child. She is not someone whose intelligence can be reduced to good in science, good in arts, good in communication, or good in studies. No. Sasha's chart shows something far more refined. She has Virgo ascendant, Saturn in the first house, Jupiter as Atma Karaka in Aquarius in the sixth house, Sun as Amatya Karaka in Pisces in the seventh house, Moon in Scorpio in the second house, Mercury and Venus in Aries in the eighth house, Rahu and Sagittarius in the fourth house, and Ketu in Gemini in the 10th house. Now, why am I telling you these placements? Because in intelligence mapping, planetary placement is not decoration. It is not mythology. It is not random symbolism. It is the diagnostic engine. The planet tells me the type of intelligence. The sign tells me the operating style. The house tells me where that intelligence activates. The conjunction tells me how multiple intelligences combine. The karaka tells me the deeper soul and career direction. This is why this system is so direct. It does not ask only, what subject does the child like today? It asks, what kind of mind is this child carrying? It asks, where does this child naturally find joy, meaning, challenge, and contribution? It asks, what is the child born to decode, solve, build, heal, or express? And in Sasha's case, the answer is very clear. She is a diagnostic systems thinker. She is a deep research child. She is a psychological observer. She is a meaning-seeking intelligence. She is not built for shallow learning. She is built for depth. Now let me show you how this works. Sasha's Virgo ascendant immediately tells us that her basic personality is analytical, observant, detail-oriented, improvement-driven, and sensitive to flaws. This is the child who notices what is wrong before others even understand what is happening. You may call it criticism, but I call it diagnostic intelligence. Virgo rising children are often not satisfied with vague answers. They want clarity. They want method. They want usefulness. They want things to make sense. Now add Saturn in the first house. This makes the personality serious, mature, cautious, self-aware, and sometimes harder on herself than others realize. This is not always the loudest child in the room. This is not always the child who keeps showing off. But inside, the mind is measuring, comparing, observing, testing, structuring. Saturn in the first house gives discipline, but it can also give pressure. Sasha may feel she has to be correct before she speaks. She may not enjoy making careless mistakes. She may look composed outside, but inside, she may be carrying a deep need to prove competence. So as a parent, you must understand this. Do not mistake her silence for lack of intelligence. Do not mistake her hesitation for weakness. Do not mistake her seriousness for dullness. This child is processing, and she processes deeply. Now let us come to the most important placement, Jupiter as Atma Karaka in Aquarius in the sixth house. Atma Karaka shows the soul's deepest learning pattern. Jupiter as Atma Karaka means the soul wants wisdom, meaning truth, guidance, ethics, and higher understanding. But Jupiter is in Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of systems, networks, reform, technology, innovation, future thinking, social design, and collective progress. So Sasha does not just want wisdom in a traditional sense. She wants applied wisdom. She wants wisdom that improves systems. Now place that Jupiter in the sixth house. The sixth house is correction, problem solving, service, health, daily work, conflict resolution, obstacles, and improvement. Now you see the diagnostic engine. Jupiter gives wisdom. Aquarius gives systems. The sixth house gives problems to solve. So what kind of intelligence does this create? It creates a child who is born to ask, why is this not working? How can this be improved? What is the hidden flaw in the system? How can I make this more useful? How can knowledge solve real problems? This is diagnostic systems intelligence. This is the intelligence of the researcher, analyst, reformer, strategist, healer, counselor, technologist, medical diagnostician, AI ethicist, psychologist, data thinker, and problem solver. Parents, this is where many children are misunderstood. A child like Sasha may not be excited by ordinary homework. But give her a real problem, a case study, a mystery, a human issue, a broken system, a psychological pattern, a scientific question, and suddenly the intelligence wakes up. That is why generic education fails many gifted children. It gives them information without purpose. But intelligence mapping asks a better question. What kind of problem makes this child come alive? For Sasha, the answer is hidden problems, human problems, system problems, emotional problems, ethical problems, and technical problems. Now look at her sun as Amatya Karaka in Pisces in the 7th house. Amatya Karaka shows career intelligence, the intelligence that wants to become useful in the world. Sun as Amatya Karaka gives leadership, ethics, authority, visibility, responsibility, and a desire to stand for something meaningful. But the sun is in Pisces. Pisces gives compassion, imagination, healing, empathy, spirituality, counseling, emotional sensitivity, and service. And the sun is in the 7th house, the house of people, clients, partnerships, consultation, public dealing, and one-to-one connection. So what does this mean? Sasha's career intelligence is not meant to remain isolated. She may need quiet time to think, yes, but her work ultimately connects to people. She is not just a data mind. She is a data and human mind. She is not just an analyst. She is a compassionate analyst. She is not just a problem solver. She is a guide who can help people understand themselves, their patterns, their choices, their pain, and their direction. This supports fields like psychology, counseling, education, consulting, law, public policy, healing sciences, human development, coaching, advisory roles, and client-based research work. And this is where the beauty of planetary intelligence mapping becomes obvious. A normal career test may say she is analytical, but this system says she is analytical through Virgo, she is disciplined through Saturn, she is wisdom-driven through Jupiter, she is reform-oriented through Aquarius, she is corrective through the 6th house, she is compassionate through Pisces, she is people-facing through the 7th house, she is professionally guided by the sun as a Machakaraka. That is precision. That is why planetary placement becomes the diagnostic engine. Now let us go deeper. Sasha has Mercury and Venus in Aries in the 8th house. This is a major research signature. The 8th house is not surface-level intelligence. It is hidden knowledge, secrets, psychology, transformation, crisis, occult sciences, investigation, deep research, mystery, trauma, genetics, inheritance, and the unseen mechanism behind events. Mercury in the 8th house gives a mind that wants to investigate. It wants to decode. It wants to ask difficult questions. It is not satisfied with the obvious answer. Venus in the 8th adds aesthetic depth, emotional intelligence, relationship psychology, design sensitivity, and attraction toward hidden beauty or hidden value. Now put both in Aries. Aries gives spearage, initiative, directionist, and the willingness to enter difficult territory. So Sasha has a mind that may enjoy asking bold questions, not rude questions. What is really going on here? Why did this person behave like that? What is the hidden cause? What is the pattern behind the pattern? What are people not saying? What is the system hiding? This combination can create strong potential in psychology, forensic science, research, medicine, surgery-related sciences, diagnostics, cybersecurity, investigation, behavioral analytics, strategy, design research, astrology, symbolism, trauma studies, and deep human sciences. Parents, this is not a child who should be fed only shallow learning. She needs depth. She needs mystery. She needs meaningful complexity. If you give her only rote memorization, she may look disengaged. But if you give her a case to solve, a pattern to decode, or a system to improve, she may surprise you. Now look at Moon in Scorpio in the 2nd house. The Moon shows the mind and emotional body. Scorpio is deep, intense, private, investigative, transformative, and psychologically powerful. The 2nd house is speech, memory, family conditioning, perception, voice, stored impressions, and values. This gives Sasha a very deep emotional memory. She may remember how people spoke to her. She may remember tone. She may remember emotional atmosphere. She may sense what is hidden in the family environment or social environment. She may not always express everything immediately, but she absorbs. This placement gives what I call emotional X-ray intelligence. She may understand sadness behind anger, fear behind control, insecurity behind arrogance, pain behind silence. This is why psychology, counseling, writing, healing, research, and human behavior studies can become very powerful for her. But there is a caution. Moon and Scorpio children need emotional safety. If the home environment is too harsh, too unpredictable, too shaming, or too emotionally confusing, the child may become guarded. She may stop sharing. She may become internally intense. So for Sasha, emotional trust is not optional. It is educational fuel. If she feels safe, she opens. If she feels judged, she hides. If she feels deeply understood, her intelligence expands. Now look at Ketu in Gemini in the 10th house. This is fascinating. Gemini is communication, language, data, writing, information, curiosity, and mental exchange. The 10th house is career, visibility, public role, reputation, and contribution to the world. Ketu brings detachment, abstraction, research, minimalism, and past life familiarity. So Ketu in Gemini in the 10th house creates a child who may have a natural ability with language, information, and communication, but may not use it in a flashy way. This is not necessarily the child who wants to become a celebrity speaker. This is the child who may become a sharp writer, editor, researcher, analyst, coder, symbolic thinker, knowledge architect, technical communicator, forensic investigator, or quiet public intellectual. She may be good with words, but selective with words. She may speak less, but when she speaks, there is insight. This placement also shows that career may not follow the ordinary path. She may not be satisfied with a simple title. She may want meaningful work, unusual work, research-based work, or intellectually independent work. Now look at Rahu and Sagittarius in the 4th house. Rahu shows hunger. Sagittarius shows philosophy, higher learning, truth, belief systems, global knowledge, law, ethics, and teaching. The 4th house is emotional foundation, education, inner peace, home, and psychological security. This means Sasha may seek emotional stability through knowledge. She may need a meaningful worldview. She may not feel settled until she understands the bigger picture. This is the child who may ask, what is right? What is truth? Why do people believe different things? What is the purpose of education? What is the meaning of life? Why should I follow this rule? Now, some parents may find this challenging, but I would say do not suppress these questions. These questions are not rebellion alone. They are signs of existential intelligence. This child needs mentors, books, philosophical exposure, global learning, ethical conversations, and meaningful education. Do not give her only instruction. Give her perspective. Now let us look at Mars in Cancer in the 11th house. Mars is action, courage, drive, and execution. Cancer is emotional protection, care, home, nurturing, and emotional instinct. The 11th house is networks, social circles, goals, communities, gains, and larger groups. This gives Sasha a protective social drive. She may become active when she cares. She may not fight for everything, but she will fight for people, causes, communities, or emotional values that matter to her. This supports social impact, activism, community research, public health, youth work, education reform, humanitarian technology, and emotionally meaningful team-based projects. So when we combine all placements, what do we get? We get a child whose intelligence is strongest in deep research, diagnostic logic, psychology, systems thinking, meaning-making, human behavior, problem correction, ethical reform, strategic communication, symbolic and investigative learning. Now let me rank Sasha's intelligence types clearly. Her strongest intelligence is research and investigative intelligence. This is the mind that wants to uncover what is hidden. It comes from Mercury and Venus in the 8th house, Moon in Scorpio, Ketu and Gemini in the 10th, Virgo ascendant, and Saturn in the 1st house. Second, she has logical, mathematical, and diagnostic intelligence. This does not only mean mathematics, it means systems, patterns, cause and effect, debugging, data, structure, and correction. Virgo rising, Saturn in the 1st, Jupiter in the 6th, and Aquarius influence make this very strong. Third, she has existential intelligence. This is the intelligence of meaning, purpose, ethics, spirituality, philosophy, and higher truth. Jupiter as Atma Karaka, Rahu in Sagittarius, Sun in Pisces, and 8th house emphasis all support this. Fourth, she has intrapersonal intelligence. She has a deep inner world. She can reflect. She can observe her own emotions. She may process privately. She may not always share everything, but she feels deeply and thinks deeply. Fifth, she has linguistic intelligence, but with a specialized flavor. Not casual chatter, not empty social talk. Her words become powerful when the subject has depth: psychology, research, truth, mystery, human behavior, ethics, or systems. Sixth, she has interpersonal intelligence, but again selective. She may not enjoy superficial socializing, but she can understand people deeply. She may become excellent in one-to-one guidance, counseling, consulting, mentoring, or client-based work. Seventh, she has visual, spatial, and symbolic intelligence. This may show through diagrams, mapping patterns, design research, astrology charts, psychology models, data visualization, or symbolic systems. Naturalist and musical intelligence are present but not primary. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence is moderate and may activate through emotionally meaningful movement, group activity, yoga, dance, swimming, or therapeutic movement, but it is not the chart's dominant intelligence. Now, what should Sasha study? If I were guiding her parents, I would say, do not force her too early into a narrow box. Her best fields are those that combine human depth, research, systems, and service. Strong fields for her include psychology, counseling, behavioral science, neuroscience, cognitive science, data science, AI and human behavior, medicine or diagnostics, psychiatry if she chooses medicine, biotechnology, genetics, forensic science, cybersecurity, UX research, human-computer interaction, public policy, law, AI ethics, education reform, social impact research, astrology, symbolism, philosophy, and metaphysical studies as parallel deep interests. Now listen carefully. The best combination for Sasha may not be one single traditional field. Her best path may be interdisciplinary. For example, psychology plus AI, neuroscience plus data science, counseling plus education technology, medicine plus diagnostics, law plus technology ethics, behavioral science plus public policy, UX research plus cognitive science, astrology plus psychology and counseling. This is how Gen Alpha intelligence is going to work. Many of these children are not born for one box. They are born for intelligent combinations. And that is where ordinary career counseling falls short. It asks science, commerce, or arts. But intelligence mapping asks, what intelligence architecture is this child carrying? That is a far better question, because a child like Sasha can be destroyed by the wrong environment. Put her into shallow competition and she may withdraw. Put her into rote learning and she may lose interest. Put her into meaningless status chasing, and she may feel disconnected. Put her into emotionally unsafe classrooms, and she may become guarded. But give her meaningful research, deep mentorship, real-world problems, psychology, systems, and freedom to investigate, and she can become extraordinary. So as a parent, your job is not to ask, why is my child not like everyone else? Your job is to ask, what kind of intelligence is my child carrying? What kind of learning awakens her? What kind of future will feel meaningful to her? What environment allows her intelligence to breathe? What is her natural way of connecting with the world? For Sasha, joy comes when she can understand what is hidden, solve what is broken, and help something or someone improve. Her joy is not in shallow applause. Her joy is in discovery. Her joy is in correction. Her joy is in meaning. Her joy is in helping people or systems evolve. That is her intelligence signature. And this is exactly why planetary intelligence mapping is superior and direct, because it does not only label the child, it explains the mechanism. It tells you why the child thinks this way, why she questions deeply, why she observes silently, why she may resist shallow learning, why she needs meaningful work, why she may be drawn to psychology, systems, research, healing, or reform, why she may not fit into ordinary academic expectations, why her future path must combine knowledge with usefulness. The chart becomes a diagnostic engine. The planet shows the intelligence, the sign shows the style, the house shows the arena, the karaka shows the deeper purpose, the conjunction shows the intelligence blend, and suddenly the child is no longer confusing. The child becomes readable, the child becomes understandable, the child becomes guidable, and that is the power of this work. Because when you understand your child's intelligence early, you stop wasting years forcing them into the wrong lane. You stop comparing them with cousins, classmates, neighbors, and mark sheets. You stop asking, why are you not like them? And you start asking, how do I help you become more fully yourself? That is the shift. That is the real parenting revolution. So if your child is intense, observant, quiet, sensitive, analytical, unusual, philosophical, emotionally deep, or difficult to place into one category, do not rush to label them, map them, understand them. Decode the intelligence before you decide the direction, because the wrong path creates resistance, but the right path creates momentum. And when a child like Sasha finds the right field, the right mentor, the right learning style, and the right purpose, her intelligence does not just perform. It transforms. It transforms her life. It transforms the people she works with. It transforms the systems she touches. That is why I call this intelligence mapping. Not prediction, not guessing, not generic advice, a real diagnostic reading of the child's mind soul, career pattern, learning style, and natural joy. If you are a parent and you want to understand what kind of intelligence your child truly carries, not just what marks they are getting today, but what kind of future they are naturally designed for, then get in touch with me for a deep intelligence map reading. Let us identify the dominant intelligence, hidden intelligence, learning style, emotional needs, suitable subjects, career direction, and the path that actually works for your child. Because your child does not need to become everyone else. Your child needs the right map. And once the map is clear, the path becomes powerful.